Then in 4th it jumps up to 1500 because that's when it jumps up to like rare, I believe. Because cantrips and first level spells are considered common items.
Okay.
So cantrips were 15 gold because they're a one-time use thing. The way I based it was they suggest 50 gold, 50 gold for a common item that you can use multiple times. But like a one-time use thing is usually about half that. So like a healing potion is like 25 usually.
You said you put that in the shared folder?
I don't. Yes. Yes.
I can definitely take a look. But I think
manifesto, so it's like 25 pages long.
Yeah, I would go with that pricing.
100, 150.
Yeah.
Does she have any cheaper non-second level spells?
That's how you rolled, man.
Got it.
That's how you rolled.
I did. I rolled a lot of 40s through 60.
So many.
All right. I think I would like to buy knock. I'm just gonna buy knock. I think it's worth it. I'm gonna do it.
Make a charisma check.
Oh, me? Sure.
Yep. Because if you recall, you were hanging out in the corner of her shop, creeping her out.
I'm also the only damn person who bought something in there.
She'll take that into consideration. No, Calliope did it.
God, Calliope.
What?
Freaking Calliope.
Where's my charisma?
She did it again.
God damn it.
I cast magic.
Oh my god.
Alright, so how much did you say it was worth?
100 to 150.
Alright, she's gonna make you pay 155. That's what she'll say.
God damn it.
You really creeped her out, man.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
I'm loaded. Whatever.
Did everyone get a chance to level up?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Should be level 12, right?
that's right.
Not level 12.
But for reals, you're level 5?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Because for a moment there I thought, did I give you guys 2 levels when I was like, yeah, I'm going to make you level 5? That would have been
Made things difficult.
rough.
All right. So I put all the random treasure items in the party sheet. Calliope's just planning on selling them unless anyone wants them.
Not really.
I mean, that is a sweet cloth of gold vestments.
Yeah, but Calliope already has fine clothes and a costume and a cloth mask plus a cloak of billowing, so she doesn't want to be too fancy.
Could I make a cape out of that? How big is that? Is it that big?
Sorry, I had to move.
Is it
Were
a
you-
large cloth?
Yeah. I mean, large enough that I think you could probably make, maybe a to your butt kind of cape if you find someone to do it for you.
To your butt cape.
Wait. So you're gonna be shirtless with a cape?
I haven't decided yet. I'm leaving my option.
All right. I mean, do what you want, man. Frederick just destroyed that champion, so.
So I need to buy arrows for my new bow, which is really my loot that I can shoot like a bow.
Oh man. Well, you guys have not. You haven't gone to the general store, and you haven't gone to the armorer.
Right.
Chris, you've not missed much. They just were leveling up. We haven't started,
Okay.
so you didn't miss nothing.
You ain't missed nothing.
Except for I might be adding arrows to a store. No big deal.
Yeah, I need to buy some arrows for my short bow / loot.
Does the program make these towns?
No, I used a website to randomly generate them.
Oh, I've been on.
But it's all they're based off the actual maps. Like, so watch out for that wagon. If
It's
you
now every time.
if you look at the map of Pazubia
I forgot.
and then
I
look
had
at
bed
Pus,
sheets.
Oh,
It-
it's labeled. It's actually
What?
that. Okay. So
It-
that
it-
that website did all that then?
yeah, the entire thing
Oh,
was created from that website, and then
That's cool.
it actually mirrors what it looks like on the main map.
That's
So
cool.
it's pretty wicked. It's wicked sweet.
That
Oh,
is
I gotta
pretty
move you guys. You're down here.
I forgot I had bed sheets from Paylor's temple.
Have we been to Mole before or not?
Nope. Did you guys Speaking of which, Valorant, did you look in your bag where you put stuff?
What?
Like you were stashing stuff in there, right? Make a perception check.
Okay. You mean like after I come out of the library or something?
No, just
Or as
throughout.
Okay.
Yep. So as you've been like putting books in there and different things that you've picked up and purchased and whatnot, there's a realization that comes to you that all this food that you neatly packed and kind of folded into napkins from the Temple of Pelor has disappeared, and the napkins are gone.
My bed sheets are gone.
Bed sheets, napkins. The only thing that seems to have stayed is
Just
anything
like
that was
your brother.
like an item
Wow.
or a weapon.
Barrick, I expected that from Calliope.
I'm sensing his alignment shifting.
Calliope is going to be evil, and it's going to be
oh, my fault.
Valorant's fault.
Amazing. Korrac, do you need any help leveling up, or are you good?
Nope.
Sweet. All right. Well, when we last met our heroes, Frederick, after seeing a crazed fan in the crowds, was escorted to a pit fight that he, at first seemed to have the disadvantage, and then very quickly overthrew the champion of Pus to a very excited crowd shouting "Old guy," to which ended with Calliope swiftly floating down to the pit, announcing that everyone should come buy him a drink, which they did throughout the evening. During the festival, we'll call it, in the pub, Valorant and Swifteye had an adventure in the library, and they come late in the late hour of night. It's probably dusk at the morning at this point when they make it back. So both Valorant and Swifteye are rather exhausted. They may have gotten 1 to 2 hours of sleep. The party is slowly waking up. Frederick and Barrick are feeling the effects, we'll call it, of the evening of continuous drinking and laughter, and wake up with quite a massive hangover. So Valorant, Swifteye, Barrick, and Frederick, you all have disadvantage on all ability checks until you take a long rest.
Yes.
And that is where we begin our adventure at the Inn of the Mellow Dandelion.
I'm going to flash back a little bit. Valorant had one last spell she cast before she goes to sleep.
Nice.
Because I realized I haven't cast my daily wish, as in my only ever wish. So before she goes to sleep, Valorant's going to stare at the scroll case that she's really scared of, and possibly could break the world if she miscasts a spell.
Broken.
And she's a little scared. And then she's going to cast Wish.
Okay.
And she is going to wish to cast a 3rd level spell that she cannot cast.
Okay.
She is going to wish and try to cast the Sending spell, which I didn't even think through what she's going to say. She can say a 25-word message. She will say she's going to try to send a spell to send a message to harm. She's going to say, hey,
Wish you were here.
Are you there?
It's me.
It really
Valorant.
sucks. It really sucks that you're gone. And I know you were my brother. And I wish you would have told me. And you can talk to me if you want. And that's probably 25 words. So if he is on the same plane of existence, he would get it. I'm guessing he is not on the same plane of existence. In fact, she doesn't know how any of this shit works.
16, 17, 18,
But she's desperate.
25. So you got, yeah. Okay.
Actually, I need to roll. That spell might not have even worked.
Yeah, you need a roll, and then I need to know where you're doing this.
I'm inside the inn.
Are you still with Swift Eye, or have you guys separated your ways?
No, I'm in my room.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll my, I think, intelligence, because I'm trying to cast a spell scroll I cannot access, right?
Make it so.
I have to beat a 19 with intelligence.
Make it so.
Nope.
All right, so
Yeah.
here's what happens.
Oh, shit.
As you're reading the scroll, you pull it out, and it unrolls from this very elaborate scroll, and as you're reading it, the words are burning off the page and disappearing, and it's odd as you're reading it. You're picking up little nuances of words that you've heard before and you've researched before, but they're coming off almost with an accent as you're reading them. There's this moment where you get a feeling like some of the words may have gone through, and you've closed your eyes and you've been concentrating really hard this entire time, and you start to feel something on your arm, and then it moves to your head, and then it moves to your arm again, and as you open your eyes, what you see is a very large, probably about a foot by half a foot sea sponge that is vigorously scrubbing your arm and your face. And that's what happens.
It worked.
It's Harm sending you a message.
He said you're dirty.
She's going to, flick the sea sponge away.
Make a strength check.
She's going to do this with her mage hand.
All right. Do you have to do anything to cast it?
No.
All right. So the mage hand flicks it away, and then immediately comes back and it slaps you in the face and starts scrubbing really hardly. And it continues to do this for quite some time.
You bought a cursed scroll case.
So as you continue
Apparently,
to fight
Blinky
off,
sells cursed stuff.
as you continue to fight off this sponge, after probably about a minute to 2 minutes, and you're rather clean now, even for being awake and out and about for the entire evening. The sponge just simply disappears, leaving you smelling quite clean and refreshed. But you have a pretty good feeling that spell did not work as planned.
Sure. Hey. She cries herself to sleep.
But you're quite clean.
Well, it was funny until that part. Jeez.
All
She
right.
was just trying to send a tweet to her brother.
Tweet. All right, so you're all, let's fast forward now, I guess, and everyone is waking up. Some of you a little worse for wears than others. And Korrac, I meant to give you. You find a book near your pillow about. It's called "So You Own a Castle." And this is what you discovered from the previous night's communications. All right.
Calliope saunters down to the common room of the tavern in the morning and says, "Tom, my dearest friend, breakfast for all. Breakfast for my friends and I. We have a long day ahead of us."
Well, I mean, I guess that was the bargain. And he kind of claps his hands, and one of the barmaids kind of goes off and goes to collect things, and he kind of peers around and he looks at Barrick and Frederick and go, "What's the matter with those two?"
Do you have anything to cure a headache?
A headache, you say? Well, I've got
Yes.
a little too much ale last night, Paladin.
Something to that nature, yes.
Ah.
Do you have something or not?
And he starts kind of giggling to himself, and he goes behind the bar, and he is kind of concocting some interesting, two interesting concoctions, and I forget what it's called. But he starts mixing several odd things together. You definitely can see he grabs raw eggs and he's kind of throwing them into a big mug. There's some random like bits that he got. He kind of cleans the bar itself and then wrings out the washcloth into the mugs. And on top he puts a cherry and he goes, "On the house. It's. I promise it'll do the thing." And he slides them to both of you.
Barrick's gonna kind of just eye it up. And
I'll
then
drink
he's gonna,
it. Red drink.
he's gonna look at Tomcat and say, "To your health." And he's gonna drink it as well.
Tom kind of winces. Both of you make a percentile check.
Percentile, yeah.
Oh boy. How do I do that? Mechanically?
There is a way to do it. What is the right click? Just grab the D10 and then right click once.
Barrick, it is. Make a Constitution save. Frederick, you down it, and although it burns, you become very much awake.
I already
and
did it.
you're oh, you didn't even have to roll. You're yeah. You did it. You rolled an 83 the first time.
I had this little thing in the corner that said, "Do you die with D100?" So I clicked that.
Nice. And you you're feeling much better. I will say you no longer have disadvantage. Your hangover is slowly starting to pass. Barrick, you become quite green in the face and just look at Tomcat, look to the left and the right, and then just throw up on the ground. And then Tomcat starts to laugh. You definitely still have disadvantage. Well, it works most of the time. The barmaid very grumpily kind of comes up and starts cleaning up your mess.
I'm gonna look over at Barrick and just be like, "I don't know, friend. It worked for me."
I'm going to apologize to the barmaid and give her 3 gold.
It comes off as, but she kind of nods a little bit.
Abe, is there like a post office or something like that in the town?
Yeah. You know that in most towns, like the innkeepers seem to be able to, get mail from places. You also feel pretty confident that the castle would be able to get mail to different places as well.
All right, I'm gonna write a letter and send it off to my father. So I'll send you what the letter will contain.
Nice.
Valorant still doesn't come down.
Tomcat's gonna look at the party and go, "Aren't you missing somebody?"
Where's Valorant?
I just realized it took me 4 hours to scribe my knock spell into my spell book last night, so I literally got no sleep.
Nice.
So, yeah, she's still in her room.
Are we assuming Swift Eye is with us?
Yeah. So very sleepily he walks down.
She's not still at the library, is she, Swift Eye? Did Valorant come back with you?
Yeah, she rests in her room. And she kind of folds her arms.
When did you two get back?
It was about 5:12 in the morning.
Whew, she wasn't kidding about needing lots of time to study.
Yes, study. That's what we did. Study.
I'm gonna insight check that.
Oh, she's not even here to defend herself.
It's cool. Calliope's distracted.
Yeah, you're like, study. Yep,
Ugh, that sounds lame.
totally was. And then she just goes back to nice. And then she goes back to meditating.
All right, friends. I say we sell some stuff, buy some stuff, and go find out more about this tunnel.
We should
Sounds like a
speak
plan.
to.
Maybe you should go back to bed. Oof.
We should speak to the Chancellor before we move on.
Yep.
While you sell and other things, I'm going to go lay down.
That might be for
I have the sending stone. Call me when you're ready.
Barrett kind of trogs off with a bucket that the barmaid very happily gave him after cleaning up the first mess.
I just imagine Calliope sending Valorant and Barrick sending, and both of them just like slamming it down on the bedside table.
I'm
God
going to
damn it.
suggest that we don't invite Barrick with us if he's going to puke on the Chancellor Calliope.
Yeah. Oof.
Seems like that could be bad.
You also know there's a couple other shops in town, as well as the Chancellor said when you need her to call upon her.
Right.
Did you say there was an armory?
There is an armory.
Yeah, we haven't been there or the general store, which I think is probably our best bet for selling all the crap.
Yeah, let's maybe go to the general store first so we can sell the stuff.
Yeah, then the armory. Okay.
General store, Abe.
All right, so you guys are here-ish on the map. And judging by asking around and talking to different people, you know that it's through this street here, which is actually through the marketplace. And anyone that is listening or would like to, you can make a perception check to see if you hear anything that they are selling.
I'll do a perception check.
Oh shit, Korrac with the first 20. So Calliope and excuse me. Yeah. So Frederick, you hear a couple people shouting about some ropes and some other items on sale. Your head is much better, but it's still the shouting is kind of driving you nuts. So you're having difficulty. Calliope, you hear some other things about some bracers that bracers for sale, help you with archery, golden rings. Korrac, you hear, I've got a hat here. Hat it sells quite good. Hats for endless rocks all day. And you would actually hear about all of these things. Some random items, and boom, there we go. These are the items that you hear as you're going through, because Korrac freaking destroyed that roll.
Hat of endless rocks?
Well, yes, you can get as many rocks as you'd like in this hat.
How does that even work?
Well, that's a good question. I asked the same thing myself, and then I put the hat on, and I got hit with a whole bunch of rocks. But you can have rocks for days. It's not the damage of the rock, it's the potential.
So maybe, like, you can make them into pets?
Who ever heard of a pet rock? That's ridiculous. And as you guys are going through, you see... Let's move the D20 over here. All right. As you continue to move forward, you come to. Oh, I'm in the wrong chapter. I'm skipping forward. Elviana, which is bling, right, meow. So she runs the general store in town, and as you kind of walk in, she's quite well dressed, holds herself pretty well. And the things you hear throughout the town, she does quite well in her shop. She sells kind of a little bit of everything. And well, hello and welcome to my shop. I'm Elviana. What can I do for you today? Quiet folk here. I sell things at this shop.
I
I'm
think,
not there.
Calliope has all of our. You had some stuff you wanted to get rid of, Calliope?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
ain't
sorry,
here.
my headset was cutting out.
You're okay.
So you're looking to sell, not buy. Well, that's very disappointing.
Oh, well, I'm sure we make some purchases as well. So perhaps if there, is something we are interested in buying, we could trade in our goods for store credit at a better price.
Well, perhaps. Calliope, make a charisma check. She's going to stare at you for a little bit and then go, well, you were at the Mellow Dandelion last night, now weren't you?
I was indeed Calliope Farstrider at your service. She will bow and make her cape billow.
Oh my. Well, I was able to catch part of the show, not the whole thing. I've got a shop to run, but, well, typical percentage of about 50%. But I bet I could probably be talked up to about 60 if you really need.
Oh, well, perhaps since you missed out on the show, you'd like a serenade, and Calliope will wink at her and play her a song.
Oh, make a performance check. You're still getting accustomed to the actual new strings. You're kind of breaking them in a little bit. Some of the notes don't go as planned, though you have this passion to just keep playing. And her face slowly just starts to kind of become a little more stone. She's kind of putting her hands together a little impatiently.
Yeah.
I mean, 60 is a pretty good offer.
Yep, you're right. It sure is. 60% for store credit. Okay, let's take a look at what you got.
Yeah, if you could maybe stop playing. I mean, it's pretty early. Maybe people are still sleeping. And then you notice upon her walls are some pretty basic things. She's got a couple of interesting items. Throughout the shop, there's other things that you also see, but it seems to be just more general merchandise that she has to offer. Standing in the corner is a very elegant looking outfit. It has a price tag hanging beside it, but other than that, it just seems to be a nice clothed outfit.
We need some rations, yo.
Gotta eat the food.
Valorant is all out of rations.
Okay, so she really has just like basic stuff.
Yeah, she's very much a general store. Are you selling everything in the party sheet?
Yeah, but I doubt that we'll want store credit for all of it. I mean, I need some arrows. Does anyone else need anything?
Just rations.
I'll take a water skin, but I'll just pay for it.
She'll still offer you the 60%. I'm just gonna cash them out.
Yeah.
Bing! You made 840 gold.
Woohoo!
Cha-ching.
Well, I mean, how many bundles of arrows do you need? I have 100 on stock, but
I just need 20 arrows, please.
20 arrows. That's let's see here. We've got a couple of dollars here and some copper. Are you looking to buy anything else?
I'll take. How many of us are there? 6?
Yeah.
I'll take 24 rations.
It's a very odd amount, but I mean, if you're buying, I can't really complain. So we're up to 121 silver pieces. Anything else you need?
Nope.
Well, okay, that'd be 121 silver pieces.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, that'd be great.
Calliope will give her the money.
Nice. All right.
The money.
Is it 121?
121. Exactly. All right. So you guys are looking to continue to the armor.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me highlight. There's where LV Anna is. All right. So as you continue down the busty streets, you kind of have to take a long detour. The town seems to be built in very strange ways. So you kind of go back down this causeway, and you can definitely see a billow of smoke. And Valerian, are you with them, or are you staying behind?
You tell me when it's been a few hours.
Okay. I would probably say
She'll catch up.
Okay, it probably would be about, by the time you make it throughout the streets, because you kind of have to go long ways, it's probably been about 2 hours of them kind of walking and talking and, stopping at the market and things like that. So it's been about 2 hours, and this is where the armor is. So, bling! So it's tucked away from the main streets. It's kind of nestled in the crafting district, and you follow the guards' directions and other people you stop to kind of check to where the shop might be. It's not very decorated, and as you're entering, there's just this clear clang that just keeps repeatedly over and over again. In the back is a strong-looking elf. She's got fire-red hair and smashes a piece of metal with another clang. And as you approach the counter, clang! She does not seem to notice. She's just simply in the back kind of hammering away.
Rachel walked off again if someone else
I can hear this time. So far my headset still works.
Are you going to try to get her attention?
Yeah, Calliope will... Well, first Calliope will pull her mask out and put her mask on. And then she will play a little diddle-diddle-lee on her lute as she makes a grand entrance, and then she will pull her mask off and bow and make her cape billow and say, "Good morrow, fair maiden. I am Calliope Farstrider, and this is my radiant company. We've recently defeated a dragon, and we are in need of adventuring gear so we may continue to go out and smite evil."
So that whole time you've been hearing this clang, clang. And near the end, she kind of stops a moment, and she catches dragon, and then turns around with a quick kind of look, and she goes, she's kind of taking a deep breath. She's slowly putting her stuff down. She puts her gloves and kind of wipes them on her smock, and it's pretty crusted with steel and other bits of grease and whatnot. She comes up and goes, "Good morning." Sorry about that. What brings you guys in?
Oh, well, I'm
smoke and
Calliope
all.
Farstrider. This is my radiant company, and we've recently defeated a dragon. We're famous heroes, and we need adventuring gear so we can continue to defeat the evils of the world. And she'll make her cape billow.
Nice. She kind of eyes up your cape a little bit and kind of looks at her like very shoddy looking shop, and well, it is a bit drafty in here, I guess. Korrac, are you with the party, or did you stay back?
Yeah, no, I'll be with her.
So as she's kind of looking about the party, Korrac, she kind of sees you and looks at you, very inquisitively. But she's not really looking at you. She's looking at your armor itself. It's a little uneasy that she just keeps staring at you, and she gets up pretty close to you. She walks around the counter, and she's kind of inspecting you. Um, hmm. Hmm.
Is there something I can help you with?
Vandegar, right?
Yeah, that's me.
And then she's very awkwardly kind of touching your bottom side, looking at the pieces
like
of
his
metal.
ass.
Yeah, where the pieces of metal and the plate seem to come together, and she goes, "That's what I thought.
Where they contour.
This one's mine. It's seen a little work and damage here, but that one's mine. I notice my work from time to time. Quite known around these parts, if you really must know. But glad to see it's still holding together.
Oh, she makes magic.
So, what? I mean, you're a party, obviously, and you're looking for things. Is there certain things you're looking for itself, or you're just looking to see what I have to sell?
Actually, I would be interested if you had any breastplates.
Breastplates. Well, let's see here. And she just starts throwing armor left and right, kind of looking through, and you start hearing go, well, I've got a chain of necrotic resistance. I've got a chainmail with magic. A couple elven cloaks, and she just starts throwing cloaks over his shoulders. I've got a, well, this is quite a nice piece here. Nice studded leather. Not too fan of leather myself. I like the metal, but it's a nice one nonetheless. I've got some. Well, this was when I dabbled with gloves of swimming. It seemed silly at the time, but who knows? Someone might need it. And she just goes through like a list of pieces that she currently has. I'm just gonna load those up.
It's a list. At this point, Valoran skids into the armory, like Kramer style, in the back door. And she's currently, like, while she's sliding, is casting like prestidigitation on herself to like make herself look clean and like fix her hair.
And she kind of leans to look at you. Is that one with you?
She continues sliding until she's like kind of like leans against the other wall and just like crosses her arms and leans. Is like, sup?
Huh. Well, okay then. Okay. I think she's with you. Anyways, Vandegar, is there something that I can interest you in?
Let me inspect these pieces. I may wish to make a purchase.
Good. Excellent.
And Korrac will just kind of, run his hands over the armors and kind of knock on them a little bit.
You definitely notice these are very well-made armors. You notice the same sort of intricate work that's gone into your own armor. That now that you look at it, make a perception check.
In a metagamey way, Dane,
Nice.
if there's any other stuff that you want, just let us know.
Yeah, truly, Dane. So Korrac, as you're kind of inspecting it, there's something very reminiscent of her style, and you realize there seems to be almost like a signature near the back, near the buttocks, if you will, where she was inspecting for her own mark. And some of the styles that you see in this armor are very reminiscent of Barrick's armor itself.
As in, like,
what kind of armor
he
does
has
Barrick
the same
wear?
armor?
It seems to be made in the same style.
It's wearing like plate.
Yeah, I believe he has plate mail.
Why so much for the cloaks? If you don't mind asking.
I mean, I dabbled from a time. I like mixing magic with style and defense. And, well, every now and again, some people sell me some things, and I just really do this for the fun of it. I get enough work from different cities and guards throughout the country that I really don't have to look for work.
So at this point, is Frederick wearing armor?
I am still, yeah. And I've got my eye on the Mariners chainmail armor.
Mm.
I'd like to kind of take a closer look at that and ask Bolwyn what the deal is with it, because it's pretty gaudy looking from what the description says.
It is. It's quite nice, but it's definitely interesting to look at. It almost has a different shine to it. And she goes, "Oh, the Mariner's chainmail. That one is one of my favorites. Though I don't know how often it comes in handy, but I don't really do the adventuring really. It you know can protect you if you seem to fall in water or simply wanted to swim in it. Oftentimes it'll just simply weigh you down. So I can imagine it'd be quite handy.
I've recently started re-entering the ring, and I don't know. There's a certain amount of showiness that comes with that. Do you happen to have anything that might make an impression in front of an audience, perhaps in the back room or something?
Hmm. Something with Let me see. Frederick, what kind of armor do you actually wear right now?
Chainmail.
Chest hair.
Chest hair.
It's actually coming out over
hair.
top.
Yeah, if you have something invisible, so my chest hair just kind of radiates in the ring, that would be perfect.
Really pop.
Well, you know what? Let me go look. And she kind of goes back. There seems to be a pile of different works. They're not haphazardly thrown. They're just simply in the back, kind of laying all different pieces that have been finished, and some of different sizes, shapes, and different, we'll call it, stages of being completed. She goes to the most completed pile and pulls out. It's slightly dusty at this point, but she pulls out a quite nice looking. It seems to have a slight gold tint to it, and it's a nice sized chainmail. Definitely one that would fit you. And she goes, "Well, this one's a chainmail that I mixed a little bit of gold and a little bit of silver with. Quite durable, though it may not look like it, but quite shiny in the sunlight, if you know what I mean. If you're looking for show, this might be the one. Of course, you got to polish it up a little bit, but definitely will reflect the light."
I like it. It's only missing a cape, and I pull out the cloth of gold vestments. Do you think you could fix that for me?
And she snatches it from you without really much of an asking, and kind of goes back in the back. It's probably a good 5 minutes by this point. There's some hammering. There's some quick scissors and slashing that happens, and then she brings back the armor. Now has a cape that kind of glistens in the sun that's coming in her shop. The armor she has polished up really quickly, and it's quite pretty. It seems to reflect what little light is actually in the shop.
That I'll take. That looks like something to wear in the arena. That will definitely make an impression.
Well, let me see here. Well, with the adornment, and you brought some of the properties, so that kind of made it a little better. Let me see here. She kind of looks you up and down a little bit. I mean, typically for an armor of this quality, I would say about 1,000 pieces. But I really enjoyed adding the little cape to it. It's quite a nice touch. You have quite an eye. I'd say about 950. I'd do it for.
Now, would you say if I said that from now on, whenever I sing of Frederick the Mighty's exploits in his armor that shines like the sun reflecting off the sea, that I also include in my song, which is a little lute, where he purchased said armor?
Yeah. This is the Temple of Pain you're dealing with.
There seems to be a small recollection in her eyes. She kind of leans forward and she looks kind of at Frederick and goes, Temple of Pain, you say? Did you fight in Caesar?
He sure did.
Yeah, I
He
sure
won a
did.
lot too.
Yeah, I fought in CISA and I managed the champion of CISA. Perhaps you've heard of Murin?
I have heard of Myrn, actually. I don't know much of you in Calliope. She kind of looks at you. But the Temple of Pain, I've heard quite a lot about in my travels when I would deliver for the guardians of the Temple of Paylor and Caesar itself and deliver the armors. I would watch a fight occasionally, and well, for that, Frederick, I'd do a solid 800.
It's a deal.
Now, is that taking into account that yesterday he defeated the champion of Pus, came out of retirement in a blaze of glory, he did.
That's counting my, we'll call it my youthful love for the ring. And Barrick, she hands you, it's a chainmail +1. I can just drop that in your inventory.
Yeah.
And it is quite polished and has a gold tint to it.
Alright.
It also has a cape now.
I need to take away 800.
800, yes.
And I'm gonna flip to Calliope. I'm gonna be like, I appreciate all your help, and I'm gonna throw over to her the stone of good luck I've been carrying.
Mm.
And I think
What's this?
did I give it to you? I don't know how to do that. I'll add it to the party sheet, maybe.
Yeah, if you drop it there, I can snag it.
There you go. Great.
What? Thanks.
Dowrin was kind of looking at Frederick like a child who was seeing one of her childhood heroes that she watched as a child fight in the ring, and she just like fades into the background a little bit.
Frederick's gonna put on his new golden armor with his golden cape, and slick his hair back again. It just feels like the right thing to do.
Mm. Now that's the Temple of Pain that I know of. She's going to look to the rest of you and go, well, anything else that I can do to help?
Well, Ms. Volin, I'm wondering if you take commissions.
Well, I am a bit busy, but I could always make some time because, well, really I don't need it. I just do it for the fun. What are you having in mind?
Of course. Well, it seems like a lot of your pieces, you work with mithril a lot, is that true?
I do. It's quite beautiful in nature.
Well, I was actually looking to have a piece of mithril half plate made. Is that something that you would be able to do?
Well, I think I could take a look. I mean, I could fit it in. Is there a certain time you need it done?
Well, obviously, I understand that these good craftsmanship takes time, so whatever you need, and I can put down a deposit, of course.
Ah. Well, let me see what that would bring us. Yes, mithril half plate. Yes, I think I could do about that. Are you looking for just the average, everyday common mithril, or are you looking for a little spice?
Some spice. That sounds interesting. Yeah, let's go for some spice.
Something you adventurers are after, or might help defend.
Of course, we're always getting ourselves into little scraps.
Well, let me see.
Ooh, you should get something that's really good against vampires.
Vampires, you say?
Well, we also fought a dragon.
She kind of looks at all of you, a little unsure. Dragons, vampires. Okay.
Calliope starts to play the song the night before. How they
Let me see. I say, how about just 100 down, and let me see what I could do for some mithril armor that could help an adventure of your sorts.
All right, done. Korrac will slam down 100 gold on her counter.
Excellent. I will. I'll get get right to work with this right away. With the enchantment, of course, that's going to take probably, if I rush, maybe 4 days. But probably a week to do it right. I'd hate to, rush the magic, of course.
Of course, we wouldn't want to rush good craftsmanship. I will return in a week's time.
Excellent. I will. I will put it away for you. And all of a sudden, she seems much happier. There seems to almost be like a purpose in her work. And you'll notice that as she's standing there, she's starting to like draw pictures in kind of a charcoal like pencil. Well, anything else that I could help you with?
Nope. See you later.
Well, all right. I've got an armor to build, and she just kind of goes back into the back, clanging away. All right. Where is the party going to?
Want
Calliope's
to go to
just
the
gonna.
Chancellor?
Oh, should we collect the others?
Pick up,
Oh, you
pick
should
up
spare.
Barrack.
Could
Yeah,
call him
Yeah,
from
we
your
should check to
rock
see if
phone.
Eric's
That's
up
true.
for it, yeah.
Calliope's just gonna distribute the money she made from selling stuff.
Nice.
So I think you can do that via the party sheet. Yeah. Yeah.
While we're walking, Valoran's going to. She kind of like awkwardly makes her way closer to Frederick and says abruptly, I saw you fight the Slayer of Sisa, you know.
Did you know?
Yeah, in the arena. It was amazing. And when you fought the Fiend and the Viper and the Barrage, all of them.
Yeah, I had my moments. If only I had really put all my time into the arena, I think I really would have had something special. But the temple, I had my duties at the temple.
She kind of looks down at the ground for a second and says, well, do you regret it?
You know, if you would have asked me that before all this happened, I think I would have said no. But through this journey, I regret many things. And I've learned a lot about myself, and yes, I think I would have wanted it to go a little differently.
I wouldn't. Because if it did, you might not be here. She kind of looks up from the ground. Actually, she's probably a little bit taller than Frederick, because she's pretty tall.
Frederick's going to smile and just kind of look into the distance.
Korrac will elbow Frederick. You should give her an autograph.
She scoffs at Korrac and says, "Don't be stupid." And then she looks at Frederick, like, but that would be okay.
Frederick seems a little uncomfortable. He's like, I don't have anything to put it on or anything to write with.
She pulls out a book. She opens it up, and you can tell it is her spell book.
All right. Well, he grabs the pen and he kind of looks into her eyes a little bit and says, "You know, it's been a while." He signs his name and in parentheses, the Temple of Pain.
Nice.
And yeah,
she flipped open to the Thunderwave page.
Okay. So it's been signed.
Nice. She laughs for a second and looks down at it and she says, "I don't think my brother ever went, but I snuck out every week."
It's a special place, the arena. I miss it dearly, and I miss my friends there. And it was nice to get back in the ring. Frederick kind of starts to get uncomfortable. He's like, "Well, let's go grab the others."
As
got
well,
things to do.
while we're walking.
Calliope's
Oh, go ahead.
Calliope's going to send Barrick a message through the stone. Hey, we're at the armorer. Do you want anything? We're going to go to the Chancellor next.
I'll meet you there. Where's my horse? Can we bring our horses?
They stapled
They weren't
them
allowed
for
in
you.
the city.
Yeah, they
Okay.
stapled them.
That's right.
When we see Barrick, I'd like to kind of ready an action to perceive whether he looks like he's going to vomit or not.
I've been resting. How long have I been resting?
It's probably been a good 4 to 5 hours at this point.
Okay. I'll meet.
I'm going to
him
study
at the,
hard once he joins
at the
us, for
castle.
sure.
All right, so after some time, you guys have been waiting for probably another hour. It's probably been about 6 since you set out. Barrick is slowly walking down the street. His hair is not as neat as usual, and he's just slowly making his way to the front of the castle.
Do we see him now?
Yeah, he's coming this way.
I want to walk up to Barrick and friend, are you sure? Are you sure you're okay?
I will be fine. We need to move on. Our time is short.
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation on him to clean him up.
Okay. Might be the best.
He
So
doesn't
his hair
even
is-
look. He doesn't
his
even
hair
look
is
like
slimy.
perturbed.
Yeah,
I see. You have some new armor there.
Yes.
It's very distinct.
Yeah, it's just a reminder of home, I think. I miss the showier times.
Seems like Frederick's got his groove back. I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder, mainly to steady myself, but I'm gonna disguise it as being supportive of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of pat his hand at first to be like, yeah, I appreciate it, and then realize that he really needs help and try to brace him up a little bit.
Anyway, a lesser restoration spell would cure this.
Yeah, so
it's pretty possible. It's been about 6 hours. You probably slept for about 4 of those. So I would say the effects are slowly waning.
I think, you know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cast guidance on him so that if he does need to do a Constitution check, he's got a little bit of an advantage on that.
There you go.
Thanks.
So I'll try to. I got you, friend.
All right. So you guys are making your way to the Chancellor?
Yeah, as they're walking that way, Calliope's gonna walk next to Valor and be like, "Oh, I know that you lost yours, so you weren't with us, but I got you these." And she's gonna grin and hand her 10 rations because you lost yours, right?
Lost. Quote unquote.
I gave them to Mundar so he wouldn't starve while we were away.
Oh, okay. I thought we had to come to Putz because you were out of rations, so I got your rations.
Yeah, I was out of rations because I gave them to Mundar so he wouldn't starve.
Oh, okay. Well, here.
Thanks, what do I owe you?
Nothing. I got you some rations.
She looks at the rations and then looks at Calliope.
You guys need to hug it out.
You guys are all witnessing a really
Thanks.
awkward conversation.
You're
Super
welcome.
weird.
She takes the rations.
There are 10 of them. They're in the party sheet.
Does everyone else have rations? She looks around. She's holding this big pile of very heavy rations.
Oh yeah, I've got 30 of them in the bag of holding. Do you want me to put those in there too?
No, I'll just put these in the saddlebags
Oh, okay.
where I kept all my other rations.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Calliope starts digging around in the bag of holding. She's like, yeah, we've got 34, 30. Yeah, we got 36 in here. We're good.
By this,
Also, like 1,000 ball bearings. If anyone wants ball bearings, and she kind of throws one over her shoulder.
Valorant catches it. You may
Uh,
need this.
make
Okay.
a dexterity check.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, well. Hell yeah.
Nice. Yep. You almost miss it, but you snatch it out of midair and then hand it to her.
Do you want some more? I've got a bunch.
I mean, I also have 1,000.
Oh, okay.
That's
You never know when
2,000.
you're going to need them.
All right. Calliope shoves the rations back in bag of holding. Goes, oh, I almost forgot. And she pulls out the alchemy jug and starts drinking ale and passes it around.
Barrick's gonna hold his hand to his mouth and just wave his hand.
Anybody want some liquid lunch?
By this point, as Calliope is offering you the jug, there's a guard. Looks a little displeased, and then says, "Well, if you're ready, the lady is waiting."
Lead the way.
Oh shit! I should have made it wine. She probably likes wine better than beer, huh? Calliope will shrug and drink some.
Oh, wait, lady, where are we going?
Oh, Chancellor.
We all made the decision last night.
A panicked look in her eyes, and like starts patting herself down. She's like, I am not ready for this. I didn't dress for this.
That's all right. Frederick's dressed fancy enough for all of us. I'm gonna chuckle as I hit him. Just gonna kind of knuckle him on the shoulder.
Don't worry, Valorant. You look really clean.
That drink really sticks with you.
As the guard opens up the doorway and you enter the long corridor of open windows that you're familiar with, the Chancellor is sitting at the end, simply reading the same journal, old-looking book that she was before. She closes it slowly, puts it down, and says, "The Radiant Company. What is it that brings you to see me?"
Well, we want to know more about these elves that are not what they seem, and this passage that'll get us to them, and what kind of shit we're walking into.
You ask a lot. Well, as I said, the elves of Ashfelin were led by my sister, who in better times was a very fair lady. But as the time grew darker, she became not of herself, and her people fell to an eviler time. As for the tunnel itself, I have not walked its walls in at least 300 years. I would love to tell you it's of the same cheerful design that I ordered the dwarves to make years ago, but alas, I don't know what you're walking into. I haven't unsealed that passage for quite some time.
But you can unseal it. Is that
Well,
correct?
of course. I was the one that sealed it in the first place. It's just a simple magic.
Well, after speaking with our company, I'm going to look at Calliope when I say that. We have decided to take this path to Ashvelin.
Well, and she kind of looks at all of you, and she goes, I'm assuming that you're quite prepared. I mean, it is the quickest way to Ashfelin, and hopefully by this point, long forgotten by the elves in the dark woods. But it is still going to be quite a day travel if the carts themselves are no longer working. Do you have food and rations? And she looks at you, Frederick, and goes, "That is quite a nice armor, my friend. I see you've chosen the right path."
Well, yes, thank you. I think we are prepared for our journey.
Perhaps more prepared than we realized.
Well, if
So you haven't seen your sister in 300 years? Because she got all evil?
You guys still cool? You cool?
Just laughter in the background. It's fine. It's fine. Korrac's just having a good time. You know?
It's my wife.
He's just in the back of the conversation giggling. He's been poking Barrick the whole time. He's pretending to be a bug. Um, well, yes, well, she became not herself, and, well, quite frankly, I didn't like her company anymore. And her woods were not safe and cheerful as they once were, and I didn't want any part, so I simply said my adieus and walked through my long tunnel, and sealed it. So, at least 300 by this point, it could be much longer.
So she and her elves are evil monsters.
Well, I think they're at least shells of what they once were. Elves, that is. But us moon elves, well, there's not many of us left.
Can you tell us how to get to the Temple of the Moon?
I only know rumors. It definitely lies in the land of Ashvelin. My sister was once the guardian, chosen by birth, but that was long ago. So I know it resides in her walls, in her deep forests, but sadly, nothing more I know.
Do you know where Cinderin is? Valorant blurts out, and then, like, just her mouth just snaps shut, and she looks aghast that she opened her mouth.
I see you've found your voice. Sindarin. I knew of it once. It's been quite a time, but, yes, I knew of it. It exists, but it's a funny thing when one tries to recall it. It's gone from my memory.
You spoke of a cart system in the tunnel,
Yes,
a way of traveling faster.
the dwarves were quite resourceful. They've made carts that you could jump in and ride it for quite a distance. When it was in my walls, I would ride them quite amusingly. They get quite fast, to be honest. But when I walked back from my sister's for the last time, I walked and fumed. That's the last time I saw the carts.
It's cool. I have new spells,
It's always
We
good
are
to learn.
prepared.
she says to Barrick.
I mean, we could also take our horses down there, right? Card stuff. Been
What
300
What happens
years.
if they do?
I mean, you could take them, but I don't honestly think they'll fit in most of the places. You see, some of the places are, well, how do I put this? Carved quite elegantly over ravines. So I don't think a horse would fit.
Taking the horses would also add an extra burden on us. I think it's wiser that we ask someone to take the horses back to the Razzle Dazzle Castle.
There's a smirk on her face. I see
Korrac,
you
you need
named
to check
it.
in at the keep.
I believe that Korrac has sent workers to the Resplendent Keep.
Oh, okay.
There is a stable there where we can safely keep our horses until our return.
Okay, but we don't need to go back before we leave.
Oh,
And
we
if
I
you-
hired
don't think
workers.
so. I think Mondor
Mundar.
Of the Hill Clan.
has it under control. He's kind of our Castellan. you would.
If you'd like, I'm sure I could send one of my many members of the council to check up on it from time to time. And if you'd like, I will have your horses sent to the stables there, and I will look for this Munder you speak of.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh, we should get a banner to hang from the keep. Korrac,
Oh,
you
we
should
should
get like a really big flag.
That'd be cool.
I'll have to find a tailor, perhaps.
The tunnel can wait. To the Craftsman District.
Well, if that be the case,
I'm just kidding.
I'll
Let's find that tunnel.
Oh, okay. Well, if without further ado, if you wouldn't mind following me, and she kind of claps her hands, and behind her, where she was sitting, a door opens up. Follow me, if you will.
Wait, it's like a day to get there, right? Not like 3 days? Because we have some food, but not like...
Oh, no,
A
by
ton.
foot. I mean, again, I was quite angry when I left, but I walked in roughly, I would say about 2 days.
Oh,
I
all
can
right.
get back real fast.
That's
I can
fine.
get us
I
all
think we're
back
good.
real fast.
Real fast. So, if
You-
you're
Can you
ready,
get us there real
With your
fast?
sponge bathing spell.
Just gives a nod.
she looks really clean, though. Well, follow me, and she leads you behind her chair is a spiral staircase that seems to be also of a hidden design, and it's slowly progressing down as she's walking forward. Um, the rest of you kind of follow around her, and in front of after you come down the corridor, there's a long corridor that seems to be a dead end, and as her hand touches it, the door a doorway appears and slides over, and you realize you are outside in the courtyard, right? Meow. And in front of her, she walks up to the actual stone, and there's moss, around it. And she seems to almost be counting stones and steps. Uh, Here it is. It's right here. And she touches almost like a pattern of different stones.
I want to memorize it.
Make a perception check.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. You catch about the first 2 stones, and after that, you realize that
Okay.
there's probably about 10 different stones to this pattern, but
Yep.
you've got
You
the
got the
first
gist,
2
though.
down really
You got
well.
the gist.
And then a doorway creaks open from the actual stonework itself, and she says, "Well, this is where I leave you. I have a country to run. If you need anything, well, hopefully you
bad.
don't."
Um, excuse me. Would you mind touching those stones again? I mean, just in case. It might help if I watched you do it again. If I ever needed to,
She's gonna put her hand up on your shoulder. No, little one, I don't think I will. But I do wish you the best, and remember, she was once a beautiful and kind woman. Though I like to remember her that way. And she just kind of turns and walks away from you guys.
So she said a lot of really vague things about the elves being different and darker and changed, but she didn't give any specifics.
In my experience, evil is a matter of context. As the Sun Father says, shadow is just light waiting to be revealed. Perhaps we should go in.
Calliope walks into the tunnel.
I mean,
Amazing.
And as we start to walk, Calliope's going to play an inspirational song to give us all temporary hit points, which is now 10.
Boom. Level up.
I think it's Cha plus level.
boom.
There we go.
Yeah, inspiring leader.
All
Yeah,
right.
so she sings for 10 minutes, and we all get 10 temporary hit points.
As she's Swift Eye's there, by the way. I just don't feel like moving her. As she is singing for what seems to be quite a long time, everyone can make a perception check.
Those have been going real well.
Barrick, you have advantage.
oh, nice. Roll it again.
Nice. All right. So definitely the light in this cave seems to be coming from the outside. There does not seem to be much else that seems to be illuminating. The darkness forward seems to slowly extinguish from the doorway. And after probably about 2 minutes into the song, the doorway is starting to close behind it. I will say, I gotta zoom out. Who has dark vision?
I do.
Well, I can take care of this real fast.
Goggles, don't I?
I'm going to open
I've
up
got
my
goggles
chest plate,
Oh yeah, you do.
and I'm going to have the Sun Shard cast Sunlight or Daylight spell.
Nice. How how long does that last?
Hold on, I have it here somewhere. Shard of the Sun. Shirt of the
While you're looking that up, Frederick,
Last an
Valoran.
hour.
Okay. Frederick and Valoran notice that there is something laying in the leaves there. Seems to be a pile of leaves. Frederick, you're going to notice that since you're closer, it almost seems to have a cloth in it. And then Barrick, at the very end, as you release the sun spell, there is this burst from your chest where the actual Palor symbol rests. You see several things kind of all at once. There is 3 minecarts that could easily fit the party. Looks like it could fit 6 comfortably, maybe 8 dwarves, depending on how stout they were. There's a pathway this way, a pathway that way. And as the light is shining, you get an immediate pulse back from this spot, right? And it reflects back rather quickly, and as the light kind of starts to fill the room more on a steady basis, you notice it seems to be a standing suit of armor.
I'm going to approach it.
All right. Where are you approaching from?
Where is the suit of armor? In the middle of this
Yes.
circle? I will approach it this way.
Okay. Frederick, you see the pile of leaves, Hirish, with what looks to be a cloak in it, and Calliope is slowly singing.
I'll go investigate pile of leaves.
All right.
Tug on the cloak, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead and tug on the cloak. So,
Doing it.
Make like a.
I say the words.
I say the word.
say
Make
the
a
word, I say
strength.
the word.
Make a strength check. What the hell?
Strength check.
Heavy cloak.
Okay, good. So, you kind of reach down and you feel the fabric, and it definitely feels like a hood, and you pull it with all your might, and the leaves you expect as you kind of fling it in the air to dissipate, and they don't. And you're now holding what looks to be a cloak. And at first glance, it just seems to be leaves, but you notice they're woven in together and seem to form the actual cloak itself. And they're a deep orange and a deep red in actual color. And definitely seem to give off some sort of magical appearance. The fact that they're all staying together.
Can identify that shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you tell me what this is, and I'll look over to Valerian.
Sure, I can. It'll take like 10 minutes.
I
can do it while we're in the carts, while we're traveling, maybe.
Seems like a great time to do it. I agree.
Calliope is currently still singing her song. She's about 2 minutes in. Barrick, you notice as you walk up to this, it seems to be a solemn breast, it's a solemn breast. It's a solemn full plate of armor that seems to just be standing there. And you definitely notice around it there's some, mislaid tools, pickaxes, and whatnot. The wood itself is long since kind of rotted, and the metal itself is there, but it's rusted. But this armor does not seem to have rusted at all. And where are you at? Bling! That's what you see in front of you.
Suit of armor. Huh. It's all leafy.
Korrac, what are you doing?
I'm gonna inspect mine carts and see See if there's any like mechanisms or just look inside.
Yeah, make a perception check.
So I noticed I have this fist-size emblem in my inventory. Says you begin to notice small details that seem to escape your notice before.
Yes.
So can I use that?
You absolutely can. I should actually rename that for you so it shows up correctly. Because that is the...
It's a relic.
That is the Relic of Truth.
Relic of Truth.
Cross of
Cool.
Truth. You just have not uncovered its wonders. But yes, you notice as you get closer to this, are you holding on to the actual cross itself?
Yeah, I'll hold on to it and kind of wave it over the mine carts, I guess.
So as you slowly wave it across, things start to become clearer and crisper, and you start to notice things that you, for some reason, don't think you'd ever would have noticed before. Roll an investigation with advantage. That one spun a lot. Yeah, so as you notice, there is definitely 3 minecarts. They're quite well made. They seem to have kind of stood up to the test of time. They're a little dirty, but no more dirty than you would imagine them to be. You notice that there seems to be some sort of brake or lever mechanism holding them in place so they don't kind of roll away. The wheels themselves, though they have seen better days, they're starting to be a little pocked with rust. For the most part, there's still grease around the axles. They're still quite lubricated and ready for an adventure.
All right, Korrac will pat the mine carts. Looks like we're good to go.
Who would leave a full set of armor just laying around? I'm going to just tap on the armor a little bit.
There's a nice resounding bong! Or as many times as you tapped on it.
Is it just on an armor stand?
It's just kind of standing on its own.
Yep.
I would say by this point, Calliope's song is finished. Valoran, you have identified the item, and I'm gonna show you both since you're both kind of holding it. Bling, bling. Though I don't know if you can see it yet. Did it identify itself?
I think so. Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to take the pauldron off of this piece of armor. Is it able to be separated?
So you're trying to take the
The
moss?
shoulder piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make a strength check. And you have advantage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Can we just show this in the party sheet?
Yeah, I can drop it on the party sheet.
Yeah.
Bling.
Vitamin cloak.
So as you're pulling the shoulder off, you notice that the vines that are growing around it kind of grab onto it and pull it back into place. It doesn't seem to move, but it seems to be standing tall.
Does it look like the cloak goes with the armor?
Well, make a perception check.
Okay.
Peculiar.
It doesn't necessarily seem to go together, but as you're kind of looking at them both, they both seem to be made and quite well taken care of. You think could have been something that the Chancellor had left, or something that perhaps someone of her party would have worn or used at some point.
Gotcha. Maybe this is hers. This is Chancellor Nororus's.
Can you identify this? I'm going to point toward the armor.
Sure, Barrick. I can do that for you.
Calliope, you said you did a song of, what was it?
I just did it's my inspiring leader feat. Be like 10 minutes, but I'm dead.
10 minutes, but you cracked out. I'm sorry.
So it's my inspiring leader feat. Basically, if you give like a 10-minute pep talk, they get temporary hit points, but I'm singing instead of talking.
Nice.
Yeah. So she just sings a 10-minute song about how awesome we are and how we're going to kick these tunnels' asses. And even if there are terrifying creatures in the dark that pull people out of mine carts and down into ravines, it'll be okay because we'll find a way to save each other and defeat whatever monsters are underneath in the darkness. So it's like inspiring, but also kind of creepy.
Yeah, there are moments in the song that you guys are a little taken back from, but you see where she's going. You feel inspired, but there's parts where you're like, wow, okay, well, I guess I can help if that's the case. But nonetheless, you guys feel inspired at the end of the song, and everyone gets 10 temporary hit points.
I already added mine.
I will add it to Swift Eye. And then you are casting Identify.
Yeah. I'll cast Identify on the armor.
Calliope, do you get temporary hit points too?
Yeah.
Okay, done. Well, while she's doing that, is there anything else the party is looking to do?
Is that those tracks off to the right? Is that like a dead end?
Yeah, as you get close enough and Barrick is there illuminating the place, you definitely can tell that the years have not necessarily been kind to this tunnel. The neglect. This definitely seems to be some sort of cave-in, and you can't see past the rubbles on the tracks. There seems to be only one location to go.
While I'm identifying the armor, Valorant's going to ask. So, Calliope, you watched Frederick fight in CISA.
How long ago did Frederick fight in? This is out of character Rachel asking.
Huh?
Because I don't know. Because I know that Valorant's an elf and could have watched it like decades ago. Like, how old is Frederick and how long ago was his actual time in the ring?
I mean, Frederick's like late 50s, and he hasn't probably really fought a high profile fight in maybe 10, 15 years. He's fought some small minor things, but nothing that would be high
Okay.
profile.
Calliope just looks at Valorant confused. What? No, I never saw him fight in CISA.
Oh, it's just the way you were talking to that armor, and you were acting like you knew anything. Is all. I was just kind of curious if you actually saw him fight.
I mean, I saw him fight the other day, but I was just trying to get him cheaper armor.
Oh, sure. Cool.
Cool.
But
Just wondering. That's all.
oh,
Thanks. Bye.
you know what? Give me my rations back.
Okay.
Just kidding.
So
All right, I've had enough of this. Here, now. I'm going to point to Valorant and Calliope. I'm going to give him a stern look. Hold on a second.
Korrac's just gonna be like, "Uh-oh, you're in trouble."
He's super stern.
Super.
I didn't mean to roll advantage on that.
It didn't help.
much.
I didn't help much.
Both of you make a Constitution save.
Sure.
We're gonna see if this works.
Constitution. It's not gonna work. Terrible.
I get a +1 to this.
All right, Barrick, what do you say?
I don't know what's going on between the two of you, but we need to hash this out here and now. We have much more important things ahead of us than minor squabbles between our group.
Barrick, you're starting to notice that they're giggling to each other. They don't seem
I'm
to
gonna-
be listening.
I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth.
No, not giggling.
And,
I will fail my. I'll fail my saving throw.
Calliope
Wait, are
will-
you warning us that you're casting it?
No, I'm just casting it.
Okay, so if
Okay.
you're just casting a spell, I wouldn't know to like not resist.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. What's the save?
Save is a 15. I think that's my current spell save.
Is it a wisdom?
It is a. Make a charisma saving
A
throw.
charisma.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think her insight's high enough to figure out why Barrick's doing it. But she knows from her journal that Harm really trusted Barrick. So she probably would just let it happen. Yeah. So you can you for the spell, you know if someone fails their save, so she's gonna fail her save. So you know whether or not people make or fail their save.
Yeah.
Okay. Calliope does not fail her save.
And I'm gonna say to Valoran, what is your problem with Calliope?
That's not really any of your business. Or is it really helpful at the moment? Unless, what I'm doing right now is stopping the party. Just not. I like you, Barrick, but you're kind of holding me up from identifying this armor.
I'm gonna step between her and the armor. The armor can wait.
Cool, man.
I wish to understand this here and now. I will not travel any further with you as a companion until I can know that I can trust you, and know that you can trust the rest of our company as well.
Ultimatums? Dude.
I only want the truth.
Yeah. I know.
I'm gonna stand there with my arms crossed.
What I want to know. Oh, by the way, everyone else is in this zone. Did everyone else pass or fail the save?
Oh, yeah. You all need to roll.
Including Barrick.
What kind of a save do we do?
Charisma. DC 15.
She says.
Oops. Dang it. Sorry. That was a 15.
She says, sure. I'll answer, but you need to answer something for me.
Very well.
Did you have feelings for my brother?
I thought he was a admirable companion, if that's what you mean.
Don't be coy, son.
What does she mean? Does she mean like feelings?
Yeah.
Do you like him? Like him?
I don't know.
Cool. That's what I figured. She turns to Calliope and says, "You seem fine."
But I seem fine.
Yeah, you're great. I like you a lot.
What the? Then why don't you act like it?
She flips. She pulls open a book and she says, "I'm just going to say something, and you all know if this is the truth. I hate all of you right now. That you're making me do this." And she opens a book and says, "Third day on the road with this group. Calliope really reminds me of someone. In fact, I feel like she's almost a sister to me." And she snaps the book closed.
Aww.
You didn't even fucking know him. And she just walks away.
Deep cuts.
That wasn't so hard, now was it?
She's in the minecart.
Jerry.
I'm gonna look to the
Is
rest
there
of the
like a
party.
lever or something on this?
I'm gonna look to the rest of the
Valor's
party.
just leaving.
Anyone else? Good. Then let's move on and work as a company.
Calliope's Radiant Company.
Barrick's just going to sigh and put his hand on it over his eyes and then say, "Let's go."
I want to shoot him with a wand of smiles.
I'm gonna dispel the zone of truth. What do I roll for the smile wand?
It is a DC 10 charisma saving throw.
I'm gonna smile in spite of myself.
All right, so you guys are getting in the minecart. Are you leaving the suit of armor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
we don't we want this?
Bit.
It's really shiny.
Seems to be a shiny plate of armor covered in moss, but not rusted.
How tight of a fit are the mine carts going to be?
It's gonna be a little awkward. You're gonna have to touch some people.
So like putting an extra suit of armor in with it would be
Can we put it in
crowded.
the bag of holding?
Would it fit?
Yes.
In the
Hope
Yeah.
it's not cursed.
And
Let's
what do we
put it
do
in
with
the
the
bag of
cloak?
holding.
Should we do the same thing with the cloak?
Well, the cloak's been
That would.
identified, right?
We know what it is. Let's put it in there for now, unless somebody wants it.
All right, I'll
I
say
don't know who
that
it would be best for.
as you kind of manhandle the plate, it after some time slowly makes its way into the actual bag of holding, but it seems to be all in one piece. All right, so you guys are getting in the minecarts.
Curiouser and curiouser. Does anyone want that cloak? It's pretty sweet.
I'd say we should give it to somebody.
Lure,
That's pretty sweet.
it would be useful for that. That would be good in a bind for Calliope, but she already has a cloak.
I do have a cloak. We give just Swift Eye.
Maybe Swift Eye, yeah.
Oh, Swift Eye would totally use a cloak.
That's a
Yeah, it
great
might
idea.
be for Swift Eye.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it in the party sheet. We give just Swift Eye.
Nice. All right. So who sat down first in the actual caller? Was it
Me.
Valorant? All right. So Valorant, you sit down, and you notice
There's a lever,
immediately.
I'm pressing it.
What's that?
Is there a lever?
Make a
Investigation.
Yeah.
Yes. That was the power of suggestion.
Yep. Yeah. As soon as you sit down, you notice there is a lever. It's near the front of the cart. Yeah, that seems to be all that's actually in the cart itself.
Yeah, she's gonna push the lever before anyone else gets in.
Make a strength check.
Yeah.
All right. So you start pushing on the lever with all of your might, and you're starting to kind of break a sweat a little bit, and it takes you a little bit out, and you're just frustrated with how the entire conversation went until you realize you might want to pull it. By this point, I would say probably about half the party has made it into the cart.
That's fine.
Are you pulling it?
Nope, she's good.
All right. So is everyone getting in the carts?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
So as the last person gets in the carts, they kind of jostle around as each person kind of, gets inside of them, but they are not moving at the moment.
How do we work these things?
Hold on. Barrick's gonna pull out.
Calliope.
Barrick's gonna pull out a old leather-bound journal. I should have shared this when we first entered here. It seems that Pelor has given us another blessing.
Oh.
Found this journal when I woke.
So that we are borrowing from the library. So we'll have to return it next time we're at Puss.
Borrowing, as in you checked it out. You got a library card. Everything.
Is that a thing?
I'm gonna roll my insight.
She hasn't lied yet.
Yeah, you're not. You don't necessarily feel like she's lying, but you also get the impression that she definitely did not find a library card in Puss.
No. She just
Oh,
she just
then.
said, "Oh, is that even a thing?"
Perhaps we are blessed by Valorant here, then.
Well, yeah.
This
Sorry.
journal,
There's
details.
that book and a castle book.
This journal details everything about these tunnels, written by the dwarves who created them. Perhaps there's something in here about how to work the minecarts, and I'm gonna look through it.
So have you read it? I mean, maybe we should read
Well,
it before we go.
Yeah, I glanced over it.
You
Was this
definitely remember.
before or after the puking?
It was probably in the middle of the puking.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely notice there's some maybe new slime on the cover itself. But you notice there's definitely a page about the carts itself and how they built them and how they're magically intuned and how the brakes are controlled by the front and the back.
So, do we just pull the shaft?
Yes. Thanks.
Does the book say anything about, dangerous stuff down here?
Let me see here.
Roll it up.
Deadly, dangerous. Nothing in
Clyde
the
is handing
index.
around the jug of ale while we look at the book.
What do I roll? Investigation for that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You notice there's a couple notations, like kind of in the margin as you've been flipping through about, be careful of the speeds and some dangling stalag tights and other things, but nothing that kind of jumps out at you.
Is it stalactites that dangle, or is it stalagmites?
Mites are on the ground because they might make the ceiling. That's how I remember it. Stalactites are tight against the ceiling. So, Valorant, you are still holding on to the shaft. Nope. Do you choose to pull it now at this point?
Nope. No, she's not holding on to it. No, if she pushed it, she's done trying. She's just sitting back.
Korrac would have noticed that
not a complete tool, guys.
Korrac would have noticed that as he went inspecting it with his holy cross, that there seems to be a break in the back and in the front. Welcome back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Korrac
Might reach the ceiling.
Korrac will sigh loudly and disengage both brakes, and then back in the cart.
Nice.
A gesture towards Valorant.
Which one did you disengage first?
I've disengaged the front first. Back.
Okay. All right. No reason. All right. So as you sit back down in the back cart, you disengage it, and it, with a clunk, very quickly starts to roll forward. Slowly at first, but as you slowly move down the track, luckily, Barrick is illuminating most of the actual tunnel itself. There we go. The cart itself seems to be picking up some speed, and you notice that you're moving slowly down at a nice pace. But now it's started to pick up quite quickly. Everyone make a dexterity check.
You're doing a save or just a check?
Sorry, save.
A save? Okay.
Korrac, you can keep yours.
Yeah, it's the same.
Ooh. I fall out of the cart and I die.
Where do you find
So
your
does Valorant.
It's the main page of your character sheet on the right.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Also, so Valorant's in the front card. Who are you with?
I don't know.
I think Korrac got in that one.
Korrac got in the back.
Yeah.
it's in fact.
Probably Swift Eye.
I mean, after that conversation, maybe nobody.
Swift Eye would have gone with
Swift
you.
Eye would totally sit with you. So that's the first cart. The second cart is Barrick and who?
Calliope's in the back one if Barrick's in the second one.
Alright, so Calliope, so Barrick
I'm
and
probably in the
Frederick.
second one, I would think. Yeah.
Alright, second. Alright, cool. So as you're, kind of picking up speed and rolling down the minecart, Valoran, you very quickly see approaching. Barrick's light seems to be casting weird shadows as there are people between him and what's in front of you. And at the last moment, you see a stalactite hanging from the ceiling. You go to dodge from it, but not before your face takes 14 points of damage.
Your face.
You can absorb a little bit of that.
I'm absorbing all of it.
Then we've got Calliope. You're, absentmindedly kind of strumming your lute when you see Korrac make a panicked face and dodge quickly out of the way, but unfortunately you were a little too late, taking 11 points of damage from a stalactite hanging from the ceiling. The cart continues to roll quickly down the hill. Valoran, you have dark vision?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. You notice coming up that the cart itself seems to be, going at an alarming rate at this point, and you see ahead that the cart tracks seem to be taking what looks to be some zigzags coming up. Do you do anything?
Well, she wasn't really paying attention during any of the description of what was happening for these carts. There's a lever in front of her, which she knows is the brake. Maybe. She'll... No.
All right. At the very last minute, let's see, Barrick and Frederick, you can make a perception check.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's good. Get all those out right now. Yeah. Okay. Frederick, you're going to notice that kind of as you guys are going down the track, both you and Barrick are quite heavy, and you notice that as you're kind of ruching around the cart, trying to get as comfortable as you can, the cart itself seems to be tipping slightly left and to the right. Valoran, you are about to hit the actual turn itself. Anything you want to do?
Yeah, she'll lean into the curve.
All right, make an athletics check. Swift Eye would follow your suit.
Athletics, huh? Okay. Oh my god.
All right.
Athletics is not my strong suit.
I should probably roll for Swift Eye. Where's she at? Swift Eye. Athletics.
I'm gonna go off the rail.
Oh
fine.
shit! I'm clicking stuff by accident. Put this back to strength. Oh, she's at a -4. Okay.
What?
How is she at -4?
I don't think she has very much strength at all.
There's no way her strength is that low.
No, I think she deleted something. She's at a 3
There's
strength.
No way. There's no
She has a 3
way.
strength?
You
Yeah,
should have
that's
a 13, I bet.
That has to be a 13. Okay, so that's she rolled a 19. So sensing you try to move the cart, she grabs the sides and tips it as you go banking into the turn. Barrick and Frederick at disadvantage. Barrick, you're just going to roll normally, but Frederick with disadvantage, roll an athletics check.
What's the disadvantage from?
Because you noticed at the last moment, and now you're trying to lean into the turn.
Athletics again?
Yep.
Nat 20.
I gotta roll twice, right?
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
That's so good.
Wow. All right. So
Got a 1 and a 20.
Barrick, you start leaning the cart into the turn, and Frederick seems to be leaning the opposite direction. And
The
This
other
way,
left.
Frederick. This way.
you shout at the last minute, and you kind of write something in Frederick's mind, and he's like, "Laughed, got it," and he tips with you. Thank God you rolled a 20. With that, the two of you in the last cart also see it. Go ahead and make an athletics check to see if you lean into the turn. Damn.
Nice.
Damn. With ease, as you see the rest of your party kind of following suit, you tip and lean into the turn, and you guys kind of whip to the left and to the right, and you're banking back and forth. But now it's almost becoming natural to you, kind of tipping back and forth until the cart eventually kind of evens out. Valorn, you're going to notice something in the front of you. Barrick, you would have noticed while you were reading that there's different tracks throughout and different junctions that the dwarves kind of in the margins kind of warn people about. Valorn, you're swiftly approaching what looks to be a junction of sorts. I gotta move this right like this.
Oh no.
Here we go. So, Valorant, you're noticing that you guys are coming quite quickly into this junction. You can tell there's seems to be some sort of mechanism here. Do you want to do anything?
I mean, can I tell what's down either path?
You can definitely tell that this is very quickly becoming a dead end.
That's important information.
Hit the switch.
Well, are the tracks currently set to go straight ahead?
Make a perception check.
Good God. Oh my fucking God, I rolled outside the box. That was a 20. Reroll it. Oh my God.
You can definitely tell that it is leaning, but you're not sure if that means it's engaged to go forward or to the right, which seems to be the way you want to go. Got a 50-50 shot.
Right. I will flip a coin. Odds, I do it. Evens, I let it go. All right. She's going to cast Ray of Frost at the mechanism to change the tracks.
Nice. Do you have to roll for an attack for that, or does that happen?
I can do that.
Roll for attack. Okay, yeah. So as you're coming quickly, and by this point you are probably about here. This is your minecart. There we go. And at the last moment, you just make up your mind and take a guess, and you hit it with Ray of Frost, and it tips to the right, and you hear this, and you can see in front of you that the tracks are slowly engaging to move to the right. You probably have a couple seconds to shout something if you wanted to, but it seems like the cart is going to take a right.
Sure, she's going to yell hard right.
Everyone make an advantaged athletics check.
Brace.
Boy, advantage athletics, not my.
Nice. You all succeed. So, with this immediate shout from Valorant in the front, you all hear this right, and without hesitation, you all lean into the right, right at the last moment where you can see this impending doom, and you all zip down another corridor.
Calliope and Korrac's cart makes the turn very smoothly, and Calliope shouts, "We're really good at this! We should, go to the Olympics and race these things."
Yeah, somehow the front car is Valorant and Swift Eye, who are like the two least strong people in the
Uh-huh.
entire
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Amazing.
I have Featherfall
All right. So
stuff.
the cart is at this point it's whipped around that turn, and Valorant, you start to notice that the cart itself is it's slowing down, and as you kind of look around at the walls, you can tell it almost seems to be coming up at a slight incline.
Okay.
But you do notice that you're still coming in pretty quickly, and you're slowly seeing. Bloop, 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 bloop. There we go. That there looks to be an end of the track coming up pretty quickly.
Oh shit!
Break.
Yeah. Wow, none of my spells are really good for this thing. That's not what she shouts. She shouts, "Everybody stop!" And she's going to, one, push on the lever.
Korrac, are you applying the brakes as well?
Yeah.
Calliope's gonna clap a bardic inspiration on Korrac while this is happening,
Nice.
just in case shit goes sideways.
Korrac, make a strength check. Valor and you as well.
This is where I die. Yep.
All right. So the cart is starting to slow. Valorant, you're noticing that you've read in books where there's been mine carts and other things like that, but you always thought there would be more sparks or other things when metal rubs on metal.
Sure.
And at the last moment, you realize again you're pushing. Do you want to try to pull on it?
Well, you said I thought we did pull it. I thought that was how we
Crap! I got it
disengaged the brake.
backwards. No, it's engage. So yes, you
Oh
DM,
boy,
DM doesn't get confused at all. So yeah,
wait.
you push it forward and engage the brakes. You're absolutely right. Sparks begin to fly out from the actual brakes themselves.
Not very many.
And the cart
There's us.
slowly comes to a rest at the end of a very long minecart track. You're unfortunately there seems to be no way of knowing exactly how far you've gone, but you've been riding it now for probably a good 30 to 45 minutes at very fast speeds, and you find yourself looking at a room. The sound and the smell, especially the smell, hits Swift Eye pretty harshly. You hear what sounds to be bubbling liquid, and the smell of sulfur, very rich in the air. It seems to be a forgotten forge, or perhaps just one that the dwarves themselves made over the decades to repair their weapons as they, worked on the tunnels themselves. And you notice that there was once a bridge. It seems to have fallen in or burned from the lava itself. There seems to be a small landing over here, as well as this way as well. But
That's actually like flowing lava.
that is flowing lava. Yep.
Nice.
And what looks to be perhaps a forge.
Okay. Calliope's gonna throw a rock in the lava.
Just make an attack roll with disadvantage. holding.
Bag of holding
Dropped
goes
it.
rock.
Frederick, there is this loud bing as a rock skips off of your newly purchased armor and goes skipping down the hallway.
Valen's gonna hop out of the cart. And is this actually like 5-foot squares?
Um,
Is all okay?
yeah,
Ish.
yeah.
So she wants to go. So is this just a closed room otherwise?
From what you can first tell, this seems to be up here in the left corner, maybe about 5 foot high. This
Yeah.
one seems to be much higher, but you don't seem to see any other exits. You do notice that this way, the lava seems to be flowing through a very small opening that it's since poured through, probably over hundreds of thousands of years.
Okay. Well, I could. No, that's not gonna work.
So the bottom left is like it's way high up, so it's possible there's something above us.
It's possible, yeah. This is probably a good 15 to 20 foot climb up that ladder.
Okay. Oh, there's a ladder. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I see. There's a ladder. Yes.
Korrac's gonna go up the ladder.
Sweet. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, remember you've got the D8 of bardic inspiration you can add.
Nice. So as you're slowly moving up the ladder, you're about halfway, probably about 10 foot off the ground, when your footing breaks one of the railings and you slide partially down and you think, I'm gonna fall. But at the last moment, you grab onto it and you slowly make your way back up. Just one of the rungs has now broken. As you get up there, you notice the room seems to open up a bit. The lava seems to illuminate it a lot better. And there seems to be another room adjacent. This one just seems to be you're about 20 foot in the air above the group.
So there's a room to the south, or
yeah. So there seems to be an opening that way. It's actually the lava would illuminate it. There seems to be bling. Another room with kind of a a little island made out of rocks, surrounded by the lava, and what looks to be more tracks this way.
I'll shout down to the group. Just describe what I see.
What's everyone else doing?
I don't know. Is it even worth investigating this place? Should we just try to look for the next?
Does it look like there's anything like in the forge or on the forge?
You can make a check to see. And are you doing it from that distance, or are you getting closer?
No, I'll get up next to the lava.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and make a make a perception check. Let's see what we find. Man, you +8. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so inside the forge itself, there seems to have been perhaps something that maybe had been working on, or even maybe the forge's tools had been set aside on top of the actual stone itself, have long since melted onto the forge itself, and don't seem to be usable. There seems to be remnants of wood scraps and other rotted things over the time. With that roll, you're going to notice that beside the anvil itself, there seems to be, it looks to be a hammer, though you're surprised to see it still in one piece, as the rest of the tools seem to have kind of disintegrated with age.
All right, Calliope's gonna yell, "Everything's all melted, but there's a hammer. That's weird, right?"
I can send my mage hand over to pick up the hammer.
Nice. Mage hand!
If it is 10 pounds or less, I can do it.
Yeah, you are in luck. So your mage... Can we see your mage hand?
Sure.
Okay, so there's this magical hand starts to drift across, grasps around the hammer, and slowly makes its way back. And as it gets close, the lava itself seems to almost reflect off of the hammer itself. The handle is a darker color, though the head is of silver make, and it is highly reflective.
She just floats the hand right over to Calliope, wordlessly.
Calliope will snatch the hammer,
All right.
swing it around a little bit, and look at it.
You notice as you swing it around that the hammer, you've picked up hammers before. I mean, almost everyone has, but this one seems unnaturally light, and it allows you to swing it quite quickly, and you actually kind of swing it 2, 3, 4 times in the amount that you would normally swing your weapon. It's quite fun to wield.
Do you want me to go over there?
Across the lava?
Do you want me to go over there?
Oh, I mean, if you want to. I don't think we need anything over there. Don't fall in the lava.
Okay. Well, unless someone wants me to go over there, I'm just going to go this way then. And she's going to start climbing the ladder.
What were you doing while Korrac was actually climbing?
Me?
Yep.
Mage hand.
All right. Yep. Make a dexterity check. Dexterity save.
Yeah. You mean was I like watching?
Yeah. Did you
Yeah, I
did
was
you
just
see him
standing
fall? All right. Then you've quickly skip over it. The rest of the stairs seem to be
A loose board.
quite well. What's the rest of the party doing?
I'll follow Valerian.
So there's nothing of interest in the top left corner.
No one's looked. It's about 5 foot high. Judging by Barrick's light, it seems to have remnants of weapons, or pickaxes, or something. Just seems to be random bits, random
Okay.
assortments.
Calliope will vault up there and take a look.
Yeah, you could probably easily jump up onto it. You're gonna have to make a investigation check. Yeah, you can very easily and quickly kind of go through what looks to be rubble of long since forgotten tools. Nothing of interest seems to peek out at you, unless you wanted just some random bits of metal and stone.
Nope.
All right. Korrac, what you up to?
I'm just gonna head down here and look around.
All right, yeah, make a perception check. I will say with the light of the lava, you can probably see down about that far.
Okay.
Since you're a human, there seems to be kind of a pedestal. What looks to be, from this distance, it's hard to tell, but there seems to be something on it. There doesn't seem to be anything else in this room. It just seems to be kind of where the lava has pulled and slowly eaten away at the ground around whatever this pedestal is, and seems to be another corridor of tracks, though there doesn't seem to be a minecart at this time.
I will approach that center area, and then I'm gonna pull out the cross of truth and I'll look for traps as I walk up there.
Oh shit! Yeah, make a perception with advantage. Oh yeah. So as you're holding the cross, the ground itself, even the stones, seem to give a different perspective, and there's a couple rocks that, as you're walking over them, you realize that had you not seen them, you could have very easily slipped and may have ruined your day quite quickly. But you slowly approach, not noticing anything else other than exactly where to step your feet. And as you, I'm going to let you keep going with that 20. As you're standing there, there seems to be a pedestal with two different objects on it. One seems to be of dwarven make. It's a belt of sorts with it's thick leather. It's got a buckler on the front, which it seems to be a dwarven face. The other is a belt with thick leather with a red, almost cushion in the front of it with small miniature buttons.
Hmm.
They just look to be belts of quite high make.
I will grab the belts.
Nice. As you grab the belts, since you are holding the Cross of Truth, you notice, bling! Immediately, you can tell what these items are. Bling! They're in the party sheet. You seem to have found a belt of Dwarven kind and a belt of the Chairman. Is the rest of the party coming, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So you guys are slowly making your way down yonder. Swift Eye very gracefully is avoiding any kind of edge where the lava is. Her nose is kind of wrinkled and uptorn, and clearly not enjoying the smell of the sulfur. All right, you guys gonna go down the tunnel?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Oh, come on. Nope. 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 There we go. Okay. As you slowly walk down the tunnel, everyone make a perception check. Barrick, you have advantage.
Okay. Advantage. You say perception?
Mm-hmm.
Still not great.
Yeah, it's still nursing a hangover. So, there we go. With the help of your friends, you guys have slowly walked down the corridor. Barrick is illuminating most of the path. You probably walk for a good 10 to 15 minutes before you see any kind of sign of difference in your route. You eventually come to... There we go. You guys are walking this way. You come to a smashed cart that seems to be broken against a cave-in and what looks to be a room to your left. As you guys are making your way in...
So the cave-in is like on the tracks.
Yep.
Okay.
As you guys are making your way in the room... There we go. Barrack's light illuminates. And it seems to be, some sort of... whoa, Barrack, you're so big. Barrack's going to be the party marker right now. It seems to be some sort of maybe a temple or religious, place where perhaps the dwarves would come to pay their respects to their dwarven gods. You all seem to notice quite easily that there seems to be a tunnel right here that seems to be kind of broken inwards, but that seems to be the only place to go. It doesn't seem to be like it was originally put there in the first place.
Broken inwards, like someone like used pickaxes, or broken inwards, like
You can try to investigate it.
Yeah.
It definitely seems to be laying in that direction. Yeah, Calliope, you kind of crouch down and kind of inspect the different bits and pieces and don't find too much. But as you start looking at the actual hole itself, there seems to be some claw marks, some scratches, and it almost seems to be like the wall itself was kind of smashed inwards to where you guys were standing. It doesn't seem to be made with any kind of tool mark itself.
so like something smashed through the wall into the room we're standing in.
Yep.
Calliope starts to look around for like anything that indicates that a creature's been in here recently, and goes, "Shit, guys, there are big animals down here."
So are you looking for actual shit?
Yeah, or like a nest or something that indicates like a living thing has recently been here.
Make a survival check. Or nature, whichever you'd like to roll. I'll leave it to you.
They are the same.
Nice. So through your investigation, you're looking for any kind of droppings or any kind of notation of something that has been here. You can definitely tell what looks to be guano and that what remnants of bats may have lived in this corridor. You see some rather large droppings in the far corner, but nothing that you have seen or recognized before.
Yeah, Calliope will go, "Oh shit, guys, shit! I found some shit. It's really big."
Oh shit. Everyone make a perception check. I'm gonna roll swift die. Perception.
So you jack of all trades. You star.
There we go. Wow, you guys rolled really high. Valoran, you seem to be not necessarily looking or
bonus for the star.
kind of trying to figure out what might be going on, but the rest of you, Calliope the same, perhaps just still kind of caught off guard with the conversation that you had earlier, but the rest seem to hear and feel in their feet a vibration noise. It lasts for a good 10 seconds and then seems to dissipate. Definitely seems to be coming from that direction.
Do you guys feel that? Something alive here.
What?
Yeah.
Something's moving.
Is
Might
that
be
like
whatever
a
made this hole.
euphemism or something? Do you have to go to the bathroom?
Korrac scoffs. No, some sort of like tunneling creature. If I had my guess.
Should we head towards it, or should we be cautious? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's related to our mission, right?
I would like to start casting a spell.
Yep.
It'll take 10 minutes, Abe, so you tell me if things happen before 10 minutes.
Awesome.
I mean, we don't have much of a choice, right? It's the only way we can go. It's either back to Pus or through this animal tunnel.
Well, we've taken down the dragon, right? We might as well press forward. I'm sure we can handle whatever's in this cave. We don't
I mean,
even
we
know.
could try to
We don't even know if it's hostile yet.
we could try to lure it out to us and fight it in this room. I mean, if it's going to attack us, we'd rather fight it in this room than a little. How
don't
big
know.
is the tunnel, Abe?
The tunnel itself is probably 10 to 15 foot in different parts. The room itself is it fits you all, but not very comfortably.
I mean, do we really want to fight it in a room full of lava?
Is there lava in this room?
No, not this room.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think
You've left that probably a good 10, 15 minutes ago.
Okay.
So yeah, we could try to lure it. How do we suggest we do that?
Calliope sticks her head in the tunnel and goes, "Hey, come fight us."
Eh. Only good can come from this.
Excellent.
In 10 minutes would be better.
It echoes down a hallway, and it echoes back. Get us! Get us! Get us! And it goes for quite a while. You definitely feel that if there is something alive, beast or otherwise, it definitely has a pretty good feeling of where you are. I will say, let me draw some grids. Right, Valen, I'll say your spell has finished at this point.
Nice. Then a dome of opaque blue energy appears around Valor, 10-foot radius. So she was standing here.
Okay.
Not that one. That one.
Bing.
So she designates all of her party members are able to walk through the wall. It is. I cast Leomund's Tiny Hut. It's a mobile
Nice.
dome of force. The spell ends if I leave its area. 9 creatures of me can fit inside the dome with you. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast the spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Period.
Nice.
Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. So it's opaque from the outside, but translucent from the inside.
Nice. How long does that last?
It lasts for 8 hours,
Oh, nice.
but it'll give us time to make a plan, or people other than me could just step through, attack, and then come back through.
I'm gonna
they
say
wish.
with that, Calliope, you are gonna notice something. If I can find it. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. There we go.
They're just that giant ass thing.
Giant bee.
Giant bee comes out of nowhere and comes burrowing partially through the land, partially kind of almost it seems to almost be floating on the ground itself as it's moving quite quickly towards you and collides into the barrier itself. It kind of shakes its head, and you can tell it's a pretty armored beast. You've heard rumors of a tunneling behemoth that would live in underground passage that listens to different creatures about, and that's how it feeds. And it smashes into the barrier itself. It does it a couple more times, and until it seems to become frustrated, and then begins to slowly walk away.
So we could see it or no?
Yep.
So what does it physically look like?
It almost seems to look almost like an armored worm. It has quite large claws, and excuse me. It definitely resembles a boulette, which many of you have heard discussed, that lives underground and
Bullet.
likes to eat creatures and rocks alike to make its tunnels throughout the underground.
Valorant, can we shoot something?
Stand by. You can't shoot through it. Objects can't move through it, but you could shoot if you step out of it.
Can I shoot magic through it?
Nope.
During this
Can we come up with a
conversation,
plan to take this thing out?
And you can take a couple pot shots at it now if you
Shoot
want.
back in, right? We could
Yeah.
we could fly out and shoot it back.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do that because we're going to have to fight it eventually. I think attack us when we go down the
I
tunnel.
don't think we want to wait. Yeah, let's do it while we have an advantage.
Yeah.
So do we have? I've got a crossbow. Does everybody have some kind of ranged?
Yeah, Korrac's gonna step out of the dome, fire a shot.
Let's all do it at the same time. Let's all stop out, take like 3 or 4 shots, and step back in.
Oh, sorry guys, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'll sleep at my desk
It's
here.
getting late.
I mean, this could be a good place to stop it.
Stopping.
Yeah, let's maybe.
Yeah,
let's
because we're going to try to fight it.
So we
Put a
will
pin in it.
we will end here as the party begins to strategery a boulette. So we'll see what happens.
Leave
Awesome.
this tiny hut, man.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun until next time.